Got you stuck on the realness.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're live. We hope you're enjoying your Tuesday morning here.
Is it Tuesday?
Yes, it is. Today is February. I want to get the day right. Today should be February the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I got it right, which I did. Boom. I knew last Wednesday was Valentine's Day. That's how I got it. I have to go back to days I knew were right the week before and count them off. But I knew I was right there. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. Most of you, your first day back at work. And more than that, we want to say good morning, Bushwick.
You know, I'm still looking at this article about the
Professional dog walker.
and the fact that that's an actual.
You know what though?
profession.
But before you even get into that, before he went to his new job, Bella's younger brother, Nick, not the one who came on, the other one, the one above. That's his youngest brother, is Ginger, but Nick, the middle brother. He was actually, that was his job, man. He managed a little dog walking company up in Nyack in Rockland County, and he actually did pretty well for himself, man.
I saw a lot of dog walkers in like the Upper East Side. I used to work for
There's
developing software for some education company, and that was my first glimpse of dog walking. And
dog walking, I will say a lot. 'Cause,
People
you know, a
make
lot
a
of
lot of
people
money
are out.
doing that
A
shit,
lot of
though.
people are, you know, a lot of professionals who are out love it. You know, clearly we know throughout this country, people love dogs, love animals in general, but love dogs in particular. And you know, people, you know, walk their dogs, you know, and if they're at work all day, they can't. So you know, they have the disposable income, I'll say, or enough at least to budget it into their monthly expenses, weekly expenses, to pay someone every day to have a key. Hey, go to my job. But the thing that was funny reading that article, even though I told you, you know, I only went a few paragraphs, probably went more than, you know, a few. But saying, like the way the girl described, like knowing how to change routes, how to go to get where she wants to go, and like know which dogs could walk together, and like she knows the dog's personality. Certain dogs won't really go deuce out unless they go to a certain area of the street. Some dogs will go like by a tree. She's like, there's one dog that would only go like in a parking space. Like had to go out into a parking space, like. And
so
she
you're
said,
developing a spreadsheet of just all the different dogs'
essentially, she's
characteristics.
like all the dogs' characteristics, which one she can walk together, which one she has to have walk with smaller dogs, which dogs she knows can't keep up with the pack, like, so she has to walk them like with them, you know.
I think we live in a time where there's so many different ways to make money. People just create jobs from thin air. Like, I was on a website the other day, and people actually pay you to stay in their house for them while they go away. So
House sit, yeah.
there's an entire website dedicated to you. Just
House sit. I mean, people have done that for forever now, but now people, you know, can't. So they think, hey, let's just outsource it. You know, kind of like I'll say B&B.
Airbnb.
Yeah, Airbnb. You know, like how do you do anything outsourced now? What is it? Fiverr.
Fiverr,
outsource
you know,
freelancers. Just freelance it,
even
outsource it, get freelancers.
Freelancer.com
Yeah.
is another thing. Like, there's so many different outlets for people to just connect with people that need the most obscure things. It's like,
Yeah.
and everything is like direct.
There's essentially, I hate to say it, man, but now there's almost essentially, it's like there's a website for almost anything you need or want nowadays. Almost. And if there isn't, there's probably someone working very hard to develop it. If there isn't.
Open source software.
Yes.
Once you have something that's open source, that's why I love WordPress so much, because the capabilities of WordPress are endless. You can write a plugin today that does something that no other plugin can do, and just put it out to market.
Yeah, there's someone just someone somewhere. They got something that's just not up yet that people are gonna be like, wow, how did I think of that? I've been trying to get that worded together and just, you know.
That's why it's good to learn code. Even though we have all the drag and drop platforms right now, that people can easily build their own websites and do anything really.
Having almost, I'll say, like at least a juvenile understanding of code even helps. Just so, you know, those things that, because those, you know, drag and drop, or even, I think still even with drag and drop, even still being able to actually go in and have like the HTML coding and actually check it and see it coming up, I prefer more than, like, I don't like the drag and drop. Like
It's repetitive. You can tell when something's drag and drop because it looks like 1,000 other websites. It doesn't matter how much they let you drag and drop. You're dragging and dropping onto the same template.
Yeah, same templates. A lot of the same templates being reused.
So it's just boring. It's the fact that, you know, I can look at a source code for a website and pick out a certain thing that's gonna allow me to rip a video from a website. That's shit that people don't normally do that. So the fact that you know code, it puts you in an advantage against anybody really
Yeah.
in any
Especially,
situation.
I mean, today, right now, in this technologically advanced era in which we're in, it most certainly does.
I
Give
think
you
the
a leg
sad
up.
thing is that I don't know music theory. All this source code and I can't hit a scale.
I mean, I wouldn't even, I know a little bit of code. I wouldn't know much. Most I said a couple times last week. Not a musician of any sort. Hey, how you doing?
What's going
Okay,
on?
how you doing?
A fellow Mac user.
The cult
Everybody
of
got.
Apple. That's what I call it. That's what I call Apple. The cult of Apple.
I was watching clips from. Still haven't seen the whole movie yet, but when Ashton Kutcher played Steve Jobs, did you see that movie?
Nah, wasn't that like the one that really didn't get great reviews?
I
What
mean,
was
the
the other
scenes
one?
that I saw, they were pretty good.
Nah, there was
But
one.
they were YouTube scenes, so they probably were the best scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, no. There's the one that actually like came out and was people felt it much better. Like
It was a different actor. I saw that
it was
one too.
like Jobs. I can't remember. I saw
I think
bits
that
and
was it.
pieces of that, which was pretty good.
I think
I'm trying to remember
Jobs-
who the actor was though right now.
I mean, we got the
I
computer
can't-
right in front of
yeah,
us.
I'm trying to remember his name though. I think it was the guy who played Magneto in the new X-Men movies. Was that
So
him?
the Steve Jobs movie.
Yes, that was him.
This is Danny. Yeah, this is the one that actually got good reviews.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
But the one with Ashton Kutcher, what is that called? Just Jobs?
I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
I think yeah, this is it, cause that's Ashton Kutcher right there.
That's Ashton Kutcher.
That's hilarious. Boom.
Yeah. Well,
He has that one good scene where he tells the guy he already fired him. Why are you still here? It's like that's the most passionate I ever seen that guy.
hey,
Unless it was on what was the show he had? Punked.
Punk. Yeah. And no, then he replaced Charlie Sheen on when Charlie Sheen had the public meltdown. That show, Two and a Half Men. Was he Charlie Sheen's replacement?
Yeah.
So there's that. What was the other one too? The one he broke in.
That
with Mila
70s show.
Kunis, yeah.
He's
And,
married to her now, right?
Yeah, they're married now. Yeah.
God bless him. We don't usually talk celebrity marriages on this show, but
Yeah, I mean, Ashton Kutcher came up. He is Ashton Kutcher.
it's funny that him and Fez both had like comedy shows on MTV or something like.
Oh yeah, didn't Fez have that
Your Mama?
Wilmer Valderrama? What's that guy been up to the last few years? That's someone who I don't want to say is falling off because he's got to be doing something. I want to say not in the public eye. He's probably doing something.
Last time I saw him was on a roast. He was at somebody's roast,
Wow,
and it might have been the roast of like Donald Trump long before he was even fucking president.
he did get roasted, didn't
Did he? No, I don't think he had his own roast.
he? No, Trump.
Roast got roast. Trump got roasted. Yeah.
Man. Wait till he's out of office. That's gonna be a roast. People are going to get him when he is out of office. You think it's bad now, like with jokes they're making about you. Wait till you, like the real tell-all book. Like you had the early one come out a few months ago. Imagine the one at the end of the administration. Like you don't have to worry about getting in any more trouble, and you really get the real juicy. Like wait till that book comes out.
Let me ask you a question. You ever voted
Yeah, I've voted before. Voted plenty
locally
times.
or just presidentially?
Presidentially, unfortunately, I've never voted in mayoral, gubernatorial, or city council elections.
So what's the process? Is there like a specific place you go to?
First off, it depends where you live.
I'm gonna put-
First off, if you have to be registered to vote. Have you never voted? You've never voted?
No,
Have you never voted? Are you
Because-
registered to vote?
I don't think so.
See, first thing you gotta do, you gotta
But
be registered.
I was
to vote.
also born and raised Jehovah's Witness, so the
But I
religion
do
didn't
believe
allow us to do any
when
of
you
that.
do your ID, even though because you have to sign up for selective service for one when you go do your ID at the DMV, which is like entering your name. Should
I
the
mean, I
draft
have a
come back.
license and all of that, so that I might have
And
checked the
I
box.
do believe they used to ask you. I do believe that was where I registered to vote was at the DMV when I went to get my ID, if I'm not mistaken. I may be misremembering because it was a very long time ago, but
So there's
yeah.
USA.gov.
I was registered. I'm registered to vote. much as I hate to admit it, a registered
See how this
Democrat.
goes.
I want to switch to independent, but everyone's been telling me that were I to switch to an independent, I wouldn't be able to vote in primary elections anymore because most, there's no, independent runoff. It's
So
like
you
you're not
have to
independent, you
publicly
don't.
declare on this website what party you're enrolled with.
And when you register to vote, you have to publicly declare either you're a registered Democrat or a registered Republican or a registered Independent, registered Green Party. It's like the Workers' Family Party. But the only two that are really recognized nationally for people to vote in, the primaries to at least, get a choice between who you want to vote for president, no matter how you feel the way that goes. Um, you have to be registered, yes, registered Democrat or Republican to vote
So this is the
in
actual
the
voter
primaries.
registration form.
Um,
Are you a citizen of the United States? All right, this is all the easy stuff. These are the political parties. Here we go. Democratic, Republican, Conservative, Green, Working Females, Independents, Women's Equality, Reform, or Other. So I guess you can kind of just create your own.
I mean, you can create your own, political party. It is much more, and that's one of the things that are stressed. But the other parties are considered so minor. It's really a two-party system. There's very few independents sitting in.
I mean,
Very
but
few Green Party members anywhere.
I think at this point, for anyone to even try to create their own political party, that's almost like suicide by cop.
Nah, I wouldn't say that, man, because I do believe at the end of the day, in our lifetime, we are going to see, I feel, a major new political party emerge. And maybe, I mean, one that's not up there that you see coming out right now, libertarians. I'm not saying I agree with everything they say, but I will say that they're not liberal about everything and they're not conservative about everything.
Liberals? That's
No.
like
No, they're closer to Republicans than Democrats, but they're more leave my choices to me. Mind your business. Like I don't need the government interfering and forcing every decision down my throat. Or more libertarians. And then I mean we also saw during Obama's terms the Tea Party, which although they're not major right now, they almost were a major thing. They were kind of a little kindling fire there for a couple years, man. And I mean, I do think, I think with kids, and that's why I said, I mean, you see with the rallies this weekend, the survivors from what happened in, unfortunately, last week in Florida, the survivors, saying that piece, what they feel needs to happen about legislation regarding gun control and background checks or what have you and whatnot. And I do believe it's going to be young kids. And that's why I say, man, right now, though this generation scares the hell out of me because a lot of them are ass backwards and have shit for brains. There are a lot of bright young kids out here, and a lot of them can think for themselves. And I think that we'll see these young kids who want to see reform have seen their parents' fuck it up. They've seen their parents fuck it up, and they see us not really doing much greater. So now it's their turn, and I think they think. I mean, even though some of their views and theories, and I mean, even their choices in music, which we I think can both agree on, are questionable at best, and even fashion for that matter. I think if they want exact change, they know that they're the generation to do it. It's their generation. It's their time. And it has to be if they want to make that choice, man. But I think that right now, in our lifetime, we have a legit chance of seeing maybe a new major political party emerge and being, I want to say, fostered and coming about by younger kids looking for action.
Have you ever attended a protest?
No, I have not. No, I have not. I've protested calls at sporting events, top of my lungs, but I've definitely never attended an actual protest. I think that'd be the closest you get to a protest for me. There were protests. I've always said I want to go, man, but you see it on TV, you see how it goes. That's the type of crowd I wouldn't be comfortable in. Like seeing
like
how
why?
big these crowds are. Some of these marches, people just all on top of each other. That I don't like. I can deal with a crowd at a ball game, a crowd at an event, but that type of crowd I just don't want to deal with.
And every day there's a new story or a new video clip coming out of people that protest getting beaten mercilessly, like unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Talking about like peaceful protests, people getting their shit kicked
I
out.
mean, but it goes. I want to say it goes both ways. We've seen while the media chooses to frequently cover the I want to say anti-right, the far right groups, the alt-right groups, if you have what they've been called recently. They don't really come, they don't really cover the ones that come the other way when those guys, are having. Though I've said, I don't agree with any of the views and find them largely bigoted and very jaded. When they're having a largely peaceful protest, and then you have the the Antifa people, which I'd call, and I've said, it's fair enough to call them the alt left. If you want to call these guys the alt right, if these guys aren't really, Democrats, what would you call them? If you call these guys who aren't really Republicans the alt right, it's only fair to call these guys the alt left. And these guys show up, and then we have these clashes that we see play out on national news, and we have some news media, major media outlets treat it like it was one way, and we see it plays out that it's not, and a lot of people follow that narrative, and
a lot
it
of that
just
stuff is
tumbles and
manufactured
snowballs, huh?
A lot of it is manufactured.
I feel some deal of it that happens to a degree, and there's some people that think the exacting change. You see the people out there who when it's going on are like yelling at people like, why is this what's going on? But it's like you're yelling into a vacuum.
What was the story that we had spoken about that we covered before, where it was some tragedy that happened or some big protest was happening, but they bussed in both opposing groups in the same buses and parked them right behind each other. So
Charlottesville, when people, everyone like that was this summer with that over the statues in Charlottesville, Virginia. That's a small town of they say about 3,000, 4,000 people, very small town, and everyone in that town said they saw no one from their town that they knew, these smaller towns. And they said that they saw no one that they knew, and that it was all out-of-towners that showed up there. And it was crazy.
Place.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm from Charlottesville.
No,
Are
I
you?
did not, Maddie.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I had no idea. Can we, I kind of want to get Maddie on air for a second right now and get your take on what happened out there. Yes.
Yeah, we definitely do. Were you there during that time?
I was not, but my whole family was at the counter protest.
What
was the general consensus?
yes. What was the general air out there? Like, what was it?
I'm not sure anyone in the stream can hear me, but feel free to repeat my answers.
I think you're coming in on the mics anyway.
Mike.
Okay. It was really intense, and I think a horrifying tragedy for everyone who was involved and everyone who attended. I had heard that no one from town was really involved in the protest. It was a lot of splinter groups that came from out of town. And I think they chose Charlottesville as a gathering place for a reason. It's one of the only liberal cities in Virginia. It's been a huge reason why the state has gone blue in the last 3 presidential elections, largely because it is a university town. But I think, the environment was a huge slap in the face for the liberal bubble that Charlottesville can sometimes become. And even if no one there was from in town, it still, brought up a lot of the underlying racism and tension and that may have already been there. So it was a big deal. It was really scary.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy, man. I can't imagine like watching the movie Bushwick. I really couldn't imagine something like that actually happening here. Could you imagine that like a Red Dawn scenario playing out here?
And we kept bringing that up throughout the movie too. We was
that
we
was just,
can't. We know these streets.
I know these
Like,
streets,
what
man.
the
Like
fuck?
I'm glad I would know which way to run. Like I could like you're not getting Mr. Out of state man, working for a militia. You're not catching me in these streets.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? I'll duck behind a car and I'll make a turn on you quicker than you know, and you don't know where I'm at.
And we know these streets better than anybody.
I'll disappear into the darkness like the Dark Knight. He's not the hero Bushwick needs
Every
or
alley,
deserves.
every dumpster. Been out here our whole goddamn lives,
Yeah,
bro.
man. But it was crazy.
But
out
imagine
there.
some shit like that happening over here,
I
and we don't
couldn't,
know
man.
anybody.
We don't know anyone. You can't make out a face. Like imagine if you're on the streets and that starts, and you can't find a face you recognize. That would be that would scare me shitless, man. I might. When I told you how I woke up was it yesterday when my phone went off right after I dozed off, and I thought I was running late, and my phone kept going off for like a half hour. I was getting text messages and calls over like stupidity. I really woke up and I thought I was in a dream inside a dream because I felt like I had fallen asleep, but in a really deep sleep and got a lot of sleep, and it was really for about 20 minutes. But I had gotten that early, just quick, boom, quick doze off of my phone, or freak me out. And I was walking, like I was going around, like, and I thought I was like somewhere else for a second. I thought I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is my phone going? Like, I don't know what freaked me out about it, but I just couldn't put it together, and it was weird. It's crazy. Like I was like, and it took me like another hour, and I fall back to sleep after that.
I want to do the thing that we saw in the video a couple weeks ago when the guy opened the portal in his bedroom. I want to start traveling.
I
I don't want to get on a plane though.
I don't think that's how that goes, man.
We're never gonna know until we try. So we do this show every weekday. What's this? Oh, Citizen app. We'll come back to that right after this commercial break.
This coffee is delicious.
No, I don't really drink coffee. This is what you come out with? This coffee is an empty cup. That's what you come out the gate with on me, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it is coffee for music people. And
Music for coffee people.
A good coffee will wake you the fuck up in the morning.
You know what else will wake you up in the morning? Good Morning Bushwick, hosted by us two, Bud and
Butter
Roach.
Roach.
I mean, here at First Live.
Where is First Live?
Bushwick, baby. You're
Take-
killing me, bro. You're killing me right now. Like
Where
First
are we
Live
from?
Bushwick. We're from Bushwick. We are Bushwick.
Pick up your damn cup and pretend you're drinking the coffee.
Here
Do
at
it
First Live
again.
Bushwick.
Do it again. Do it again.
You know what else will wake you up in the morning? Good Morning Bushwick.
Good morning.
Right now, we cutting a promo or we live?
No. Where can people go to find out what's happening in Bushwick?
BudandRoach.com and FirstLive.us.
This coffee is delicious.
Yes, it most certainly is.
Yo, is this hot?
I mean, I think it is now. I think
Now
we're
it
back on
is.
now. We're back on now.
We got it.
Now we're hot.
All right, we're hot. You guys are hot.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've actually been getting that more recently. I didn't get it a lot growing up, but I've been getting that more recently, so I appreciate it all.
This is funny that it ended up being this particular person that
Yes.
to reach out, because he was somebody that I met when I was still at Shade 45. He came on with Joel Ortiz, and they had a project out. So we definitely gonna we gotta reach out to Ill Mind, because he's a dope producer.
I
bro.
know the name. I can't put the finger on it right now, but I know the name. I have to have heard him.
For a conversation,
Yeah.
if you guys wanna.
No, she's about to come up right now.
Yes, we're about to. We're about to.
We're not gonna do any Instagram emailing right now.
Not quite yet. We'll be in the DMs right after the show, but definitely need to jump on that and make that happen.
I think the term is slide in the DM.
Slide in the DMs, jump in the DMs.
So she has the matching case with the sweater. She has the cup in hand, and she's ready to come on stage. Can we get a live hand clap
Yeah, absolutely.
for Emily Garcia? Let's do this.
Hello, how's it going?
How are you doing today?
I am good.
You need more space?
You just, I'm not sure how far.
I got
Everybody good here?
We're good.
good. Can you hear me? Cool.
How are you doing today, Emily?
I'm good.
Yes?
I'm good, yeah.
good
Actually
to
took a couple days off work,
Couple
so
days off work?
I'm here
That's cool.
to see what I'm going to do the next couple days.
Staycation? That's always
Stay-
I
Vacation.
think so. Yeah, I think unless we come up with something last minute, we still have time.
Yeah.
There's always time, and then there's always opportunity with a place like this. You can walk in here and just put an event together pretty quickly, you know.
Yeah, people come in and they have
High
ideas
demand.
and things we never thought of before, and we're like, yeah, let's do it.
What's the most obscure event you think you've had here?
I'm still amazed by the fashion show.
Oh man, yeah, we
What kind
missed
of
that
fashion? What kind of fashion was it? Because was it like
Well, the line was called, it's called Royal Priesthood.
royal priesthood?
Yeah, it has a lot of like African prints and that kind of clothing.
one. So
I've-
was it grown folk or was it kids modeling here?
Oh, yeah, adults, young
Adults?
adults.
Young adults?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was a kid thing. I guess because the clip that I just posted on the Instagram. My niece is a model now. She's like
But it was like
3 years old doing runways already. I'm like, holy shit.
isn't
Yeah, they-
but it was Fashion Week, right? It was Fashion Week recently.
Yeah, I believe so.
But is
Yeah.
it one Fashion Week now? Isn't there like one like later in the year? Like there's like because when we did the event, it was like in September when
Yeah,
we did the
the-
fashion week.
yeah,
thing
they
we
do
did.
it.
Set.
It's like two. They
Yep,
were like,
September and then about
it's like an
February.
early season one and then a later season one. It's like, it's weird.
Yeah, so it was like a pop-up shop basically, and they had some merchandise out, and racks of clothing, and they had the runway down through the coffee house here and into the studio. We broadcast it.
That's awesome.
We had the bar open.
How many live performances? Before we started the morning show, this place was particularly, I guess, rented out, right? So people who had ideas would come in. You know, they would say, I want to do a little show here, whatever. You guys negotiate, then they come in and they film. How many of those were produced before you guys started getting the idea to start broadcasting television?
Oh, you mean what we're doing here right now? Well, we spent about 2 years experimenting and practicing the live stream and interviewing bands and getting the sound both in the studio and in the broadcast and in the room set the way that we really liked it. So we spent a while doing that,
you had
and
a fair deal of trial and error.
yeah, a lot, and we, we needed it, and we met a lot of people, a lot of musicians. We were able to, as we honed our skills here, we were able to offer something to artists to help them promote their music. And in the meantime, we were also putting in the application for the liquor license, and that's for us was about 11-month process.
Yeah, that's not
So-
a short process.
hurdle.
Things were coming into place. We were doing we were multitasking, doing a lot of different things at once, and then it kind of all came together really quickly, in the new year, and we started working with you guys, and so the bar opened, people started walking in and seeing the space, and they're like, can we do this here? Can we do this here? Can we do an open mic, Slap, the Slap
yeah.
Collective? They were
Collective.
here last weekend. They did their share and tell. And they bring their people out. We opened the bar, and Danny, the owner, he's been working on all the soundproofing in here, the paneling, which doubles as creating a great atmosphere in here for sound, but also showcasing our social mission, on the ceiling up here. The sound panels spell out the word vote.
Yes.
So we was talking about voting earlier, and I am guilty. I've never actually gone to vote anywhere, but it was more religious than anything else. My family wasn't allowed to do that.
Wow.
So how early in your life did you start taking, notice to social issues and going out there and being a part of the community, voting and all that?
Well, I've always voted ever since I was 18. 21 is when you can drink, which is a little more fun.
It's way more fun.
What
I
are those
never
ages
got
now?
that.
Yeah, I've always voted in the presidential election. My dad has always been very opinionated about, not so much into politics, but what the president is doing and how government works in relation to the economy. And he's a farmer, so it hits him directly. He's from a family of farmers, and a lot of them are in debt. So he's always been very passionate
I've
about
heard the
what's
farm
going on in the
industry's gotten
country.
hit hard in recent years. Just a bunch of just stupid things have really hurt farmers in recent years. They're just racking up debt left and right.
Oh gosh, and it's a mess. I could just I don't know how deep you want to get into that.
I'd like to hear a lot because I think people need to realize. This is where your food comes from. If you want real natural food,
Yeah.
unless you want a corporation. You want from a family, if I'm gonna tell the truth right now, if I want produce, and I'm gonna say fruit is one of my favorite things. I love eating fresh fruit. If I want good fruit, I want it to come from a farmer who's learned how to it's a tradition that he's learned from his dad, who's learned from his dad,
Yeah.
and it's just been through the family, through the generations, and it's with care, trying to avoid all the pesticides and do something great. Whereas you have a corporation that we see these huge farms or these huge places where, all right, let's just produce the quickest and fastest we can and get it out there to
The
people.
most efficient, and it's a lot of corn, a lot of soy, a lot of rapeseed, and they just do it in such mass quantity, and then they pile on the fertilizers, and then they have Monsanto, which is they own the seed, and then they sue everyone. If the seed blows onto someone else's land, then they sue them. So they're trying to control nature,
Yeah.
and then they're
How do you own a seed?
Monsanto, they
Yeah.
splicing them and breeding like
That's
like some of
crazy.
these you read about it, man. And some of these I remember when I was reading one of my books and they said one of the Monsanto seeds in India that really mutated and was killing a lot of crops, and like a lot of farmers were getting into debt and like committing suicide from it because they couldn't get out from under it.
Right. Yeah. And in India, anyway, but yeah. I mean, for me personally, what has always concerned me so much is that it pollutes the land. I mean, there's parts of the Midwest, of Kansas, Oklahoma, that people will go and farm the land, but they don't live there because the water is so polluted. Like, they don't want to live there and shower and drink that water.
Wow.
And then you have the Gulf of Mexico, which has a seasonal, the algae problem, the die-off.
Yeah.
It is seasonal. It's not like permanent, but it's a huge problem. And the soil also dies. Like, we don't always realize that there's microbes living in the soil, and you can have healthy soil, and you can have like dead soil. So
So is farmers law a federal issue, or is that a local issue for the states?
farmers law.
Like it usually comes from the Department of Agriculture, right? Would be what usually would handle like most stuff
Like
when it
with
comes to farmers.
with the
and stuff.
USDA.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, there's state and federal, I believe, because my dad got involved with the Michigan State Department of Agriculture. He was fighting them for a while about his cattle herd. He has a small private herd, and he breeds himself, and he doesn't sell, and he doesn't bring in any other cattle. And they wanted to tag the cattle to keep an eye on them, and they're just getting into all the diseases and controlling like food safety and all that. So he really fought that because he said there's no reason for you to tag my animals. For him is privacy. But I do want to say, on the other hand, there are a lot of farmers markets. There's a lot, the small farmers are concerned that young people are not interested in farming, but there are a lot of farmers markets, and there are places to source food from small farms that grass feed their animals and are organic, and it's
healthy
out there.
food and good choices.
Yeah.
I mean, I love fruit, man, but sometimes it's just, I know, seedless fruit is natural. But who doesn't I was joking about in the car with fellas Sunday coming home, and he was talking about
natural.
no, isn't
Seedless watermelon.
seedless
It's not
watermelon,
natural.
seedless
Yeah.
grapes,
It's grown in the lab.
seedless oranges. It isn't natural. It should be seeds in your fruits. We were talking about, he's like, I hate, grapes with seeds in them because I can't shovel the same amount into my mouth because I worry about the seeds. So, it's something like
I think
that.
Danny would be happy with seedless raspberries.
Seedless raspberries.
I can adapt what nature intends us to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never.
I'm not sure a seedless cherry would quite be the same. Like, if I had a cherry without a pit in it, then I'm scared. Like,
It's
I've
not
accepted
natural.
One cherry at a time. Got to take a quick bite, eat half, spit the seed. and then
But are
go
these
to
the
other
fruits
half.
that are being brought into the supermarkets around here?
Huh.
Can
I
you
believe-
get these seedless fruits in the supermarket?
Wait.
right now?
Some out here, but a lot of these supermarkets now, they still kept the old seedless. I guess we call it GMO stuff. That's the GMO stuff. They've kept that, but a lot of them now have the organic stuff, but that is significantly more. So you have a family that has to make a choice here. Can you really afford to pay that? Which is, it's a crime, and you see it on Instagram a lot, where you see people show a bottle of water. Is what we can still get a bottle of Poland Springs 16 ounce. Poland Springs for $1, but that same $1 will get you any size soft drink at McDonald's now or some of these other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a plastic bottle of water, which isn't biodegradable and doesn't.
There's this video that they just posted. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There's this video they just posted where I saw a bunch of people. They was refilling, I guess, plastic water bottles with tap water, and then they was using like a plastic shrink wrap and using a torch to wrap the shit up with the Poland Spring. Like they was,
That's crazy.
and it was dirty water.
That's wild.
It was
But
dirty water.
that's what I tell people a lot too, man. I'm not gonna
You can't
lie,
even trust
man.
the water if that shit's in a bottle.
To feel, to ease my conscience about the environment, because I drink a lot of water throughout the day. The only place I'm really bad with this was at work. I just toss a bottle and have them bring me another one from the bar. When I was done, I just toss it in the garbage. But when I'm home, when I'm out and about, I try to keep the bottle with me and just keep refilling it, just to not have to contribute to it like throughout the week. But at work, it's like chuck it. I run through waters. I run through waters at work as we get hot. Yeah, and That's one thing that's true, man. Like the plastics don't, break down, and like you see it, like you see it on the news. Like you have, you know, islands of garbage floating in the oceans, like just islands. And like 90% of it is plastics, and plastics come from us. They're not natural in the
That
environment.
shit has to be terrible for the land, bro.
It is. It is.
And animals.
And then they're all made with petroleum, so then you got to think about that.
Then you got like dolphins with the Pepsi cone thing.
The Pepsi thing. I remember. Oh man, one of the most painful videos for me to watch was a couple years ago with the when they found the sea turtle with the piece of straw in his nose, and it was they had to get it out with the tweezers, and I just
I remember.
I was squeaming, like I was squirming. I'm saying squeaming. I was squirming, like just looking at it, like, oh my god, like.
I think I started bawling, and I was like, I can't handle this anymore.
It's the animal stuff that makes you cry.
I think I stopped watching the news for a little while after that.
People love animals, man, because they're defenseless, man. They don't have the choice to tell us no. I mean, most of them, a larger animal or a small animal who can, work their defenses will tell you no in their way, but a lot of them can't, verbally.
Speaking
tell
of,
you no.
there's a gal who walked in here, I think just yesterday, and she's working on, she composts and because I just looked up the email. Her name's Jenny Romer, and she sent us a video about compostable and biodegradable plastics. So I think she's gonna come in here sometime this week, and we're gonna talk with her more.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about that a little bit yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
She's telling even like.
Was at work and didn't watch that part of the video.
No, we weren't in here. It was after Danny was telling us.
Okay.
She got there and explained about the straws. Like
Yeah, I mean the garden over by the Central Avenue stop for the train. There's that they compost there, and
I
we've
just saw
talked
that
about
place
sending our
too.
compost over there. And
Like I think even now, like the Department of Sanitation in the city, you can ask them for like they send out people like if you see some places have now like the smaller brown like little garbage can in front. That's for like compost.
have you seen those in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I've seen them. A lot of the places if you see them, like I've seen them like a lot, even like just walking around here, like around the neighborhood. Not many, but there's some places where you see a couple more per block. But I've seen them. I hate to, around some places where like people more recently moved in, and you can tell if it's renovated, like there's not gonna be current like families that were here before living there. But that's where you see them. Like, and I've seen a couple, and I remember reading the article. I tell everyone I'm a nerd. I read a lot of news and current events, and I remember when the Department of Sanitation was talking about it, people could request them, and there are people out here that do want to compost and like help. It's just, I think if people knew how to do it and what it goes to, that it helps a lot.
It takes effort. Like I used to do more composting. I used to like be a little more conscious about trying to throw away less garbage. And I mean, I get busy running a business, and I know I don't do as much as I could.
I had to look this up because you guys were talking about this, and I didn't really understand what the hell y'all was talking about. And for the people who don't know, compost is organic matter that has been decomposed and recycled as a fertilizer and soil amendment. So they're taking the garbage and they're making it into a garden.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
put it in a
garbage, but it's like what could break down and like it's like it go back into the earth. Like so like you put like your fruit peels like I'm sorry, you see me do it a lot like in the summer and the spring when I'm eating an apple and I'll just toss the core right out the window. Like that's composting. That's what my brother and mother would see me do. They're like, yo, why are you doing that? Just throwing it in the garbage. Like, I'm composting out there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like orange rinds, like your clippings from your vegetables that don't go in the soup. There's even people that'll keep that stuff and like make it like a vegetable stock from it for like a soup later or something.
Yeah.
They're like these things can be reused, and a lot of people will compost stuff, and then you can use it for fertilizer. It helps with dirt.
It
helps
takes
with the
like
soil.
a few months to a year.
For it to break down the way it needs to, but after it's like.
But that's
it's good
typically
the-
for food, right?
for food, just to grow, just it helps your soil.
Whatever can break down.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
want to
put
say like put meat in.
plastics would be a different, like biodegradable plastic would be in a separate compost.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if you compost it technically.
Biodegradable plastic. So that shit
What is
that
it
will
made
turn
from?
into
Corn?
That'll
into dirt.
eventually break down to
Is it made from corn?
I think cornstarch.
Let's look it up. You're right here in front of Google.
Should I send you this video?
Yeah, you can send send it to the email. I
Yeah,
gotta look
man,
this up.
People have to look that, man. Like it's something. It's important at this point, man. It's important for the environment, man. Because I don't think people realize how dangerous, the environment is right now, man. One thing I talk to people about all
you
the time.
got some
when people-
love.
With love.
Yes, sir.
when people get mad at me about things, and I tell them, man, it's you know, there's one thing people don't talk about enough, and that really troubles me, and we are gonna see play out in our lifetime. I promise you, 100%. It's the fact that that Fukushima reactor over in Tokyo after that earthquake is still leaking all that 3,000. I can't remember the number, but how many gallons of you know, toxic waste it was leaking into Pacific, and it's been doing this since when, 2014 now.
God damn.
Yeah.
You serious?
Every day leaking about 3,000 gallons. I think they said between 3,000 and 300,000. It was a number.
How hasn't that taken over the entire ocean? If it's that
Not
much?
yet. I mean, because the ocean does have a current, but the thing is, the current is pushing it. And there's been reports people already seeing, like mutations and you know deformities in animals on our coast, on the west coast of California. I mean, the west coast of the of the United States, percent of California, but the west coast of North America, people already seeing the effects of this. You know, there've been reports, but you know it's not reported in major media because I mean that's the world's largest ocean. You know, if life in that ocean goes down, that has major ramifications for the world. I don't think people realize how much of their fishing comes from there, how much seafood that people partake come from the Pacific Ocean in that region, the seas in that region. They all feed into each other, so it affects it, and that's a major problem for not just this generation. It's definitely for future generations, and that's something that hasn't been addressed.
Yeah.
We got to remind everybody, if you want the best coffee in the world, you got to come down to First Live Coffee House. Man.
Yes.
I love
First
this
Live
shit.
Bushwick.
Give me coffee. Roasted in Ithaca, New York.
I love this so much.
They're a great company.
I did something
Made on a
today.
Slayer. So we were originally going to go out this week to Seattle because Slayer Espresso they're located out in Seattle, and we were going to go out and do a maintenance training on the machine. So it's like a half-day training for about 3 days, and then we were going to hit the town the rest of the time, visit some music venues, and maybe do a little coverage, check out the coffee shops, and meet different people. I don't think we're going to get out there this week, but we'll go another time.
Hopefully one time, man. I've always wanted to visit Seattle. I've always wanted to see the Seattle Space Needle in person. Like
I
said,
just
I'm
want
a
to be in
nerd.
Seattle to feel what it felt like to be in Nirvana. A lot of good bands came out of Seattle in the 90s.
That was, they have the grunge thing going.
Are you ready for a straight shot of espresso? Have we grown to that yet?
I don't think we've grown to that yet, but I'll take a shot of espresso and a beverage.
Maybe if there's some bourbon in it.
Bourbon.
It's too early for bourbon.
Yeah. To
I'm not
not
having,
beer o'clock just yet.
No, I'm not having beer o'clock for a while.
It's a good
Alright,
thing.
I'm sending it.
It's everyone keeps saying, things like that catch up with you, but when you start feeling it catch up with you and you're still young, then it's really time to.
I mean, that's why I always tell you in moderation, man.
Let me just clean the email while we're here.
Can't
so
have
right
too
now,
much fun, Charlie Murphy.
So we also do a monthly interview broadcast here for emerging artists, and it's our complimentary service that we offer to up-and-coming artists, and it's a 5-minute interview, and they play 2 songs, and we live stream it, set it out to Facebook as well, and it's theirs to link to forever online, and
so when they perform in here, right?
yeah, they perform in here, yeah,
Where we're sitting.
yeah, they
That's
can
why
invite
you
their
guys can
friends
see this
out.
lovely- I don't know if they can see the drum set that Danny
Yeah.
took all the work to make last week on Friday, man. But yes, we got to hear Nick, kick it yesterday.
No, absolutely, come up.
We've been using drum kits all over this place because we have our shelf liquor in the back behind the bar
Yeah.
that are in
I remember we were here when
a bass
That's creative
drum that's
as hell,
cut in
man.
half.
That and it aesthetically it looks pleasing.
it looks
like-
great. Like it's like wow. Like you walk in and see that, and it adds to the feeling.
Oh, there's the shot right there. We got
There
it.
you go.
We'll
There you
get-
go. That is handcrafted.
We'll get some lights strung in there.
Oh, the lights is gonna make that shit pop.
Yeah. Look at that. And look at that camera work. Look at that fantastic camera work back there. That is amazing.
You get live hand clap. Live hand clap.
Live hand clap for Maddie.
So last night I was at this networking event called the Common Ground NYC, and they're really great people. It's also a free event, networking for artists in New York City. and it's speed dating style.
Speed dating style?
Yeah, so I think we all know what that is. You might never experienced it yourself, but you just sit in a chair facing someone and you have like 3 minutes to talk with them and like decide if you want to see them again. And you go around in a circle. So we spend like 3 hours meeting 50 people, and it's mad.
That seems kind of fun though. I mean, I've never been speed dating.
It's
like,
fun.
It did always look fun though, but
We've
I
had a
haven't reached that point
couple.
yet.
We've had people come in through here and play through that, and we've been talking with other people about doing different events, and it's a really cool thing.
You need to check that out. I think that might be fun. I mean,
That would be interesting as hell.
I really think you can really quickly, gauge whether or not if you want to talk to a person about something within it, relatively short time frame. If you rather, speak to this person again, or you're just like, if this person never speaks to me again, and I will die happy. Like if so, I think 3 minutes is enough sometimes. Like, sell me. Okay, sorry. Next time, next one. I think, it's a little
If you
crass.
like somebody, you usually know as soon as you sit down with them. Like,
I
alright,
think people say
this is
first
my speed.
impressions.
Yep. Yeah, and you talk about like what you're working on, and you might meet someone. Like I met someone last night who is an actor, and she moved to New York, and she's like kind of figuring out like how to make her way. And I'm an actor, and I've been in New York for 15 years, so I have a little experience, but she still is going to have her own experience, like as her own person. But she lives in Ridgewood, and like we connected in a way that I was like, you got to come over and have a coffee just so we can maybe be friends.
Yeah,
It'd be cool.
that's how you meet people.
So you stage act or you like in film?
I've done a little bit
Thank
of
you,
both.
Danny, sir.
Don't need anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Got a hidden talent.
I kept it a secret.
Cheers, everyone,
Cheers.
to the finest coffee in New York City.
Yes, sir.
So I'm curious about this idea for a New York coffee shop. That text message. That we got?
Mm-hmm.
What does it say? What does the text message say?
Remind me of the shit with Cole. Remember Random Spoons?
The text message from Erica.
Yeah.
It said, "Hey Danny, Illmind is a dope famous producer and wants to do something at an NYC coffee shop. Contact him on Instagram if you want to work with him." And he posted on Instagram, "Any coffee shop owners in NYC, direct message me. I have an idea I want to run by you." And she tagged us in the comments. So did you message him?
I did.
Did you hear back?
No, shit.
I think that's the way. It's a little waiting game sometimes.
Yeah, it's not, you plant
sure
the
he's
seed
getting-
and let it grow.
You gotta.
Call into the show, but have him come in
Yeah.
as a guest, right?
I'm open to it. I'm all arms with that, man. Open arms, just like this. Bring it on.
So you mentioned yesterday that we could get a phone here. Would that be a phone number or would it be like a Skype name?
I was talking actual physical.
Or you wanted like a
Like
rotary
hard
phone?
like
He wanted the one that we
you
have
want
to
it
do
to
like this.
like gotta have the switchboards on it like they used to in the day. Have the flashing lights. Like, all right, we're gonna go to the next call online too.
Press the button, and then Alex says, "Why don't you just use Skype?"
I mean, that's technology. Technology is everything now.
So whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as we can connect with people.
I think with Skype, what we paid, it was like $10 for 3 months.
Yeah, you had
And
an
you have
actual
a phone number and
physical
people
phone
can
number.
call you.
They can even do that with Google. You get a Google phone number like that, but Google phone's a little bit not as reliable as the Skype phone number, I feel.
So
But if you're on Wi-Fi, it works pretty good. So
we managed to pull up this video about the compostable and biodegradable bags.
Hopefully they won't flag that, right?
Hopefully. I don't think they should. but-
plasticbags.org.
Hi, I'm Jenny Romer. I'm an attorney and the founder of plasticbaglaws.org. I'm an expert on plastic bag laws, and I consult with cities and states all over the country on drafting the most effective legislation. In this series, I'll answer the main questions that I'm asked about these laws and help you become a plastic bag law expert too. Let's talk about compostable and biodegradable as an alternative to traditional plastic carryout bags, but let's look at the specifics. Much confusion exists surrounding bioplastics, so much so that the Federal Trade Commission has provided detailed guidelines regarding what claims may be made. The California legislature took this concern one step further. Under California law, it's illegal to refer to plastic bags as biodegradable, and any plastic bag labeled with the term compostable must meet the ASTM 6400 standard specification. The concern is that biodegradable and related terms are inherently misleading and misunderstood with regard to plastic. While there's an established testing criteria for compostable plastic, there isn't one for biodegradable in the U.S. With regard to plastic bag ordinances, the trend is towards specifically disallowing biodegradable plastic bags, that means banning them, and allowing compostable plastic bags only under certain circumstances, and making sure that generally when a fee applies to traditional plastic bags, that fee also applies to compostable plastic bags, so that a change in consumer behavior still occurs. Under the California statewide bag bill, compostable carryout bags are allowed only in some municipalities, like San Francisco, where the majority of residential households in that jurisdiction have access to curbside collection or food waste for composting. The reason to only allow compostable bags where there is residential curbside composting is that compostable bags are only better for the environment when they're actually composted at industrial composting facilities, rather than going to a landfill. The prohibition on compostable bags where jurisdiction doesn't actually compost protects customers from being misled into paying more for something they believe is better for the environment, even though the product might not actually be better for the environment. This issue is commonly referred to as greenwashing.
Greenwashing.
The advantage of allowing for compostable carryout plastic bags where curbside composting is available is that there's an ick factor as far as people not wanting to handle their compost, and a carryout bag being reused as a bin liner for compost bins reduces that ick factor and encourages composting.
Yeah. Pause. If you want to comment on that.
I mean, one thing she just said stood out to me there was greenwashing. That is something, man. I think if you're misleading people into believing something's not what it is, man, I think they took the right step in creating legislation for one. You're misleading people, and
I had no idea this was such a huge issue.
man, there's people that care
Down
about
to just like the plastic bag thing. Like we've been seeing plastic bags our whole lives in delis, and
you don't think
there's
anything of
never
it.
any education behind it. People don't really tell you shit like that. They just give you the bag.
Yeah.
And then you have like your grandma who keeps all the black bags and reuses them,
Yeah, I think that's
which is great.
I mean we do that when we go food
My
shopping.
mother does that.
All the
so-
bags go inside one bag, and when you need a little plastic bag for anything, usually there's one on the door, for recycling. Toss all the cans in there so you at least sort it, because we never had to sort our recycling because our garbage gets sorted anyway after it goes in the garbage.
Thank nature.
Yeah, but we still put something just to try to keep the cans and like bottles and stuff separate from not tossing in the regular garbage, just to attempt to. But I think that more people need to be serious about recycling. I think more people need to realize the environment, man, the condition it's in right now. Like we have done, I mean, the Earth's been around billions of years. Humans have been around not quite as long, and we've done far more damage in less time than had ever been done, and some of it irreversible. And if it keeps getting that way, it's not gonna play out well for future generations.
I heard about, I didn't find it myself, but I heard about a bacteria that has evolved recently that eats plastic.
Well, that's
Maybe,
So-
maybe not at the rate that would.
we're producing it.
it
It
does
ends up in our
exist.
oceans, but hopefully they don't evolve to start eating us because
Yeah.
what we do to the environment.
It just shows me that nature reacts to us. Like, yeah, we're not living in a bubble. Like, we're in a symbiotic environment.
And hopefully, man, nature doesn't ever go all M. Night Shyamalan and The Happening on us, man. And the trees take us out.
So it eats plastic.
Yeah, it breaks
so is
down
this something that they
plastic.
use to, I guess, compost the plastic?
I think they discovered it in nature. I
Yeah,
don't know how
probably.
much they're working with it yet.
They probably
Oh,
got
so
it.
this is some natural
It's
shit.
just natural, like
Yeah.
something evolved, and now I can eat plastic.
Well, what struck me about the video was the amount of laws that exist. And I know that they're needed to make headway with like decisions they want to make, but it also makes things so complicated,
Yeah,
and there's just a lot of laws.
there is. I think that's a town hall thing. I think most major cities and municipalities need to think about, man.
Wait, was that Jenny Romer? Her
Yeah,
name?
yep.
Yes.
She stopped in the other day.
Mhm.
Yeah, we meant.
Gonna hopefully come back to the show and kind of enlighten us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
She needs to do this live.
Yes.
Live
Love
at
to have
First
Jenny
Live.
Romo on.
And apparently the website is plasticbaglaws.org.
Yes.
Fucking Plastic bag laws.
You want to finish the end of it? Oh, the end of the video? Or did we just lose our place?
It was around here.
Yeah.
This distinction in the U.S. is annoying and likely demonstrates a lack of sophistication or understanding of the intricacies of bioplastic terms and certifications. The term biodegradable with regard to plastic in Europe and other places abroad often has a very different meaning and different certifications. So it's allowable there.
Yeah, because
Now
different
you know a
people,
lot more
they'll
about
tell you different
compostable and
stories everywhere you go.
biodegradable plastic bags. The take home is that biodegradable bags should basically never be allowed in the US, and compostable bags should only be allowed in certain circumstances and generally not be given special treatment over traditional plastic
You gotta
bags.
be really passionate
Thanks for
about
joining me.
the earth to like.
There need to be people this passionate about the earth because the earth is not in great condition right now, man.
Jenny Romer. Yeah, let's
There needs to be
let's
people
pray that she
that
comes
compassionate
back here.
and she can enlighten people
There's a
on
lot
the
of
environment,
questions
man.
now.
I think people don't realize how everyday things. I mean, one thing I'll admit, man. I'm not the friendliest of water users. Not having to pay a water bill, living in New York City, I take luxuriously long hot showers. Like it wakes me up, man. Gets me going. And then I don't just like wait for like the water. Like I don't turn it on and get in. Like I turn it on and I let it steam up the bathroom for like 10, 15 minutes.
That's where we come from.
And
New York City housing.
very liberal use of the water, not paying a water bill. Doing that every day isn't very friendly for the environment. The amount of water I'd say I'm wasting. I wouldn't want to know the number on it, man, but I'm willing to admit that. And I know it's not the friendliest for the environment, man. And while we're talking about water wastage, man, and water usage, the situation right now in Cape Town in South Africa, they're approaching like completely running out of water in a major city.
Yeah.
Like, and that's scary, man. Even though people and engineers were telling them for a while, you're overpopulating, you're developing too much, and you are going to want to run out of water at some point. And they've just hit the point. They can't even keep bringing in water. Like, they've had to tell people stop showering, stop flushing toilets. Like, they're about to run out of water.
They have any solutions?
Not right now. Last I heard, is still
Holy
bringing in water.
It says
Less than 3 months.
less than 3 months.
And when was that posted? The 31st on CNN.
Well, that's happening in Sao Paulo, Brazil, because of the rainforest, the deforestation, the entire area, rich, poor.
The deforestation of Brazil.
That's
yeah.
insane.
Even Brazil, man. When I was watching everything leading up to the Olympics and World Cup, man, how criminal they financed that. And now those venues are in complete despair because there's no use for them after these events. There aren't that many major sporting events in these other parts of the world. And then they spend these hundreds of millions, almost billions of dollars on these things, on these events. And then these venues just sit there and just get trashed, torn apart, and just become useless.
Unwashed hair is now a sign of social responsibility.
Whoa. Wow, that's
So the dirtier you look, the better you are amongst your peers.
I mean, I think
That's
people. I mean, when it comes to that,
crazy,
man,
bro.
when you need water to drink, man. I mean, people like people are saying that. Like out there, you have to choose. Do you really? Is it really more important for you to have great looking hair, or would you rather be, well hydrated in the desert? Where you're at.
They even broke it down what you can do with 50 liters a day. You got your dishes and laundry, 90-second shower. How long you say you let the shower steam up for?
10 to 15 minutes, bro. 90 seconds in the shower. I don't even know how 90 seconds would
Oh my
work for me in the
God.
shower.
when I was little, there was a competition of how short of a shower you can take, and this one of my classmates, he was in and out in 30 seconds.
How? Like that's skill.
I'm like, did you use soap?
3 liters for daily hygiene. I guess that's to wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Cooking, drinking water, and 1 dog bowl. They factored that in.
Aw, yeah.
Oh,
So how does that work?
That's the ultimate luxury. I want a bidet. There's a guy, they just did an article on Bushwick Daily. There's a bidet guy in Bushwick.
Yeah.
There's a guy that develops bidets in Bushwick.
I saw that article. Yes, I did.
Well, that reminds me, collecting rainwater. You can't do that in New York.
No,
It's
you
illegal.
can't. There's a lot of places you can't do that. Like collect rainwater. Why is that so bad? I don't get it.
It's an interesting question. Chris Day, city planner.
Look at this. Can we pull up the laptop? Meet Bushwick's bidet man. The entrepreneur with your clean
Oh,
butt
no.
in mind. Oh my god. That's hilarious.
Do you have his phone number?
Is his number on there?
It's
We
an
gotta-
article.
We
I don't
gotta
know.
get some sort of
There's got to be a way you can reach him.
treat your butt Bushwick.
Bushwick residents get a $10 discount with promo code Treat Your Butt Bushwick.
We're gonna have him in as a guest.
Awesome. Let's do that. Let's call him right now.
Maybe he can show us different kinds of bidets.
We're gonna go bidet testing.
The best one to buy.
Just to let you know, we're all here to try them. So, like, how does that work? Do you let people you have to show people? How would that work before you?
BIDET.
I definitely would have had an A and that, couple extra vowels in there. I'm just gonna throw that
My
out
hair salon in the city is a French salon, and they have a bidet in their bathroom.
My brother has
The
one. in
seat
his
warmer too.
apartment. Oh,
Yeah,
they don't
seat
have all
warmer?
of that.
Hmm.
there. What? I've never had a toilet seat warmer before. That would play wonderfully in the winter. That
That will soothe the stress.
and not even in the winter. Just when it wants to sit on a cold toilet seat, like it's already
Then
warm.
follow it up with a bidet.
Hmm.
With a bidet wash. This is interesting, man. How you wake up one day and just want to wash everybody's ass?
That's just. He had a business plan and went for it, and clearly it's worked for him. So more power to you.
Google Trends. So he's getting traction. Tell you that much.
Yeah,
He's on Bushwick Daily with big ass face.
face, and now everybody knows you're the guy who wants to keep butts clean.
It's a bidet,
Don't know
man.
how that became your career choice, but that's what everyone's gonna know you as. It works clearly. Could it not?
Create
work in his
everyone's
favor with that
creative.
face?
Have you actually used a bidet? Let me ask you that.
I have.
Negative.
I have. My brother has one. That's right. I thought it was another toilet. He had to explain it to me. I was like, yo, what the
Okay.
hell is this? Why is
Because
there
you
water
can
shooting
also
up?
you can also buy attachments that go on a toilet.
Yeah.
That turned him into a bidet?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of different things, man.
Yeah.
This guy's lost. This guy's next man. Actually, he's about to go home and
I'm
start
about to make a
researching it.
bidet. I'm about to just get a bunch of straws and tie them together.
Yeah.
Just shoot it up like a geyser.
We have the glass cleaner at the bar.
Oh shit. Yeah,
Man.
we need the soundboard.
Need that.
So
I'm just talking about the water pressure.
Yeah,
is
man,
that the noise he's making over there?
Yeah. That's the bidet. But yeah, man. I really think people need to
That
take
bidet man
the
needs-
environment into account more often, man. I think.
Bidets are environmentally friendly, right? Because you don't have to use the tissue.
I would say yes.
I'd
I don't
say-
know. Is it you're using water?
You're using water, but how much? I would guess less than flushing the toilet and then flushing again if you used a lot of
I
paper.
think with all the things that we've talked about today, it's probably one of the less significant things to do.
Yeah. I think. But
Everything's significant. Everything.
it all.
Everything adds up.
Every little every.
Adds up.
Try not to let
yeah.
the shower steam up for 15 minutes before you go.
I
in.
mean, the great thing is I only really do that in winter. Winter's coming to an end. Summer, I waste a lot of water still. Gotta take showers, but I don't steam it in the summer. That'd be foolish. It's really only from when it really starts getting cold in late fall through winter, and then spring, summer, quick in and out. Not really hot showers. Warm.
It's really good for the body. The steam is good
I
for the
know,
body.
I love it.
That's why they
opens
use
your pores.
saunas in the north countries.
I love it. It's just sitting in the steam, just
Yep.
so comfortable. It wakes me up. I feel so relaxed coming out of the shower in the morning.
I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Especially if I've been listening to music in the shower. And I've learned in the music in the morning, I can't listen to every artist. Like I can't get in the shower listening to Eminem in the morning. It puts me in a head mood where it's like, let's go today. Like I have to listen to something happy and calm in the morning. I'll be listening to like Prince and Stevie Wonder in the morning. MJ. Just so that puts me like in a better mood in the morning, like old,
Sure.
like you know,
Yep.
like Eminem, like I love, you know, but it's not morning time music. Like it's midday, later in the evening music. Like it's not early morning, you know.
You know what I was listening to this morning? Rival Sons.
Rival Sons.
Rival Sons. Pull it up. But you can't play it, obviously, otherwise we'll get flagged. But
Rival
so damn
Sons.
good. I mean, wow, I just had it 11 this morning at 7.
I like their website.
Yeah. On Tidal, Spotify,
So good.
and
This is clean.
yeah.
This is very clean.
Check it out. Rival Sons.
They're playing Atlanta.
In Madrid.
Oh, you saw that? You saw that? Oh, that shit is so sick. I gotta find out how to do
We're
that.
going to play some Rival Sons right after the show.
Yeah, man.
That's a sick logo too.
How did you find them, Danny?
They were on, someone was listening to them.
Spotify?
Spotify?
Pandora for me, man. The way they like listen to your music choices and like they've thrown some music at me, man, that I never thought like if I was in a car I'd probably go right past. But with Pandora, it's like you're trying to get to know me, so let me listen to it. And
Oh, Pandora's good like
pretty
that.
good, man.
Yeah.
Like I've discovered like a song that I later found out was in Scrubs, a band I didn't mention yesterday, Augustana with Boston, man. I love that song. Man. I think I'll go to Boston. Like, love that song. Found it because of Pandora and a song that I had previously heard on Scrubs and Grey's Anatomy for that matter.
I need to get back into the Pandora and I've gone so far away from that shit to the point where I watch the same YouTube videos every single day,
Nah,
bro.
man. Like
And my wife fights with me about that.
I listen to
She's like-
Pandora a lot.
She's like, "Well, you're watching that Norm Macdonald clip again?" I'm like, "Listen, I love Norm Macdonald. I love the way he says these jokes." So now what I do is I won't play the video, but I memorize all the jokes. So now when I pitch that, why she's so upset about it? These are dirty jokes.
That's why she gets so pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely not gonna say that you're watching, maybe just that they're filthy jokes. But yeah, man.
It's hilarious though.
It's crazy, man.
And it's been another beautiful day in Bushwick.
Yes, it has, man. It's supposed to be a very nice day. It may rain later, but today's supposed to go up to about 64, 65 degrees.
It's a little chilly.
Spring is coming.
Yeah, rain's coming. Spring's coming, man. And you know me, man. For me, spring doesn't start till opening day. But opening day is rapidly approaching. And April. I mean, actual first day of spring is March 1st, March 21st. I'm sorry. For me, the first day of spring is not until opening day of the baseball season. That's not till April 1st. So not till first pitch is thrown on the mound.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go plant, get my garden going.
I want to plant too.
Mets, man. The Red Sox. Well, look like, you know what? Thank the Red Sox. That's the only reason the Mets have the last World Series. Sorry, Bill Buckner. Thank God for the Red Sox for that. And anytime the Red Sox crush the Yankees, it's always a good day for me. So I will say that.
My God, where can the people follow you, bro?
They can follow me at Mr_Zo Taylor. That's Mr. MR _ Zo Taylor.
If I keep asking him every day, he's gonna end up spelling it out on his dummy account.
You know what? I thought you were saying Zotilla for a while.
No, Zo Taylor. Zo Taylor.
Mr. Zotilla.
That sounds like that could be my my evil supervillain name, Zotilla.
Zotilla. Where can people follow you?
First Live Coffee House on Facebook. Me personally, I don't have my own. I'm on Facebook, Emily Garcia.
What about Instagram?
First Live Instagram is First Live US.
You guys
At
heard
First
it.
Yeah.
Live US, man. You guys can see the happenings and going on here, man.
The happenings and going on.
March
Yeah.
3rd is our next live collaborative jam. All the way live with
All the way live will be all the way live again.
with Raw from Well Dressed Villains. He was on
Oh,
here last
yes.
week.
Yes.
Yes, we had him on Friday.
Yeah.
March 3rd.
It is a great time. You got to come out.
It's a phenomenal time, man. It is something that you have to. There aren't words to
unexpected.
describe it. You have to experience it. You have to be there and experience it live to really truly grasp what it is to like get a hold
Yeah.
of.
And then jump on stage.
Exactly.
That-
You just find yourself inching closer
that
and closer
happened
to the
with everybody
microphone,
that was
and then
there.
Raul will see you
Yeah.
and be like, "Come on."
And he'll point you out. You get the spotlight. Just.
Like you got the eyes, like.
And everyone's going,
Like,
"Danny,
God
Danny."
We're bringing, we'll have a kazoo if anyone's like super shy.
A kazoo.
Kazoo.
Don't get much easier than that.
Yeah, man.
A recorder.
That was,
Of course, you can follow us at B&RS Show. You can follow me at I'm King Roach. Matter of fact, we didn't even announce the
video of the day.
video of the day. If you guys go on goodmorningbushwick.com, also hotnewmusicvideos.com, you'll notice that we have the Reverb Nation campaign. We're accepting music videos that are submitted through Reverb Nation for the show. This page is actually refreshing right now because it's going to be a new video of the day. This was yesterday's video of the day. The States, I'm Still Here. That was a dope ass fucking
That's a
video.
good song,
bro.
man.
Oh look, I gotta switch that out then. So the video of the day today was actually, I'm not gonna play the video because we got some we caught a few copyright claims on the episode yesterday. So they're tracking us heavily now. But it was the Great Heights Band. It was Straight to Hell. That will be the video of the day featured on Good Morning Bushwick. Is going to pop up on top of the site, of course, at the end of this broadcast. And it will be up for the next 24 hours until tomorrow when we announce the new video of the day.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
we can have bands play live here in the studio in the morning.
Yeah.
So make that announcement.
We got,
Yeah, like we told you guys yesterday. In the area, tri-state area. If you're in the city.
If they're touring through, a lot of bands touring.
If you're in the city, man, a lot of you guys are on the road. In the area, man, feel more than free to contact us at Bud and Roach on Instagram, or drop us an email. Good Morning Bushwick at Gmail. Come to the website, Good Morning Bushwick. Contact us, or
firstlive.us.
yes,
Anything, ideas, anything.
Emily, my email's emily@firstlive.us.
so you guys want to reach out to us, set something up. We're very interested in having bands here in the morning. We don't want to catch too many more copyright claims, even though we are helping you guys, the artists. That's not the way it works, and that's just the way it goes.
It's just too much
So
legal.
while we want to play your music, YouTube and other streaming services will not allow us to. So we want you guys here then. Why don't you come give the people a live performance and show them what you got. Bushwick at Gmail, Emily at firstlive.us, and we hope to hear from you guys.
And of course, if you guys have music videos and you're not, in New York, or you can't make it to a morning show for whatever reason, morningbushwick.com or go to Reverb Nation, look up hot new music videos, submit your video, and we'll definitely post to show some love on the website.
Yes, sir.
So it's been another fantastic day, another great episode.
Yes, it has. We hope you all enjoy the rest of your days today. Get a chance to go outside and enjoy the weather before spring gets here.
We love you.
We